Hey, I want to share with you the one thing I learned this week from studying Mark Twain, How Not to Get Rich. This is the book I'm getting into, and there's something that I saw that's a pattern that you should know about as you're building your own wealth so you don't make the same mistakes that Uncle Mark made. Stay tuned. Hey, this is Jerry Fetta. Welcome back to another Finance Friday. So I've been reading this book, How Not to Get Rich. It's the financial misadventures of Mark Twain, right? And so in this book, there's a lot of things I've learned that are things not to do, right? And so I have what I call my founding fathers of wealth, people like Andrew Carnegie, people like Charlie Munger, people like Nelson Nash. And Mark Twain is actually in my founding fathers as the person that's exemplifying what not to do. And I've done a couple of videos on this as I've been studying, through on my Finance Fridays the last couple of weeks. But really what I wanted to highlight this week as I address you guys with this is the theme that I see with Mark, and it's something where, he talks about it in the beginning of the book, the author. Obviously, this book is not written by Mark Twain, it's written about Mark Twain. The author is Alan Pell Crawford, right? But he's talking about how, Mark Twain even describes himself growing up and his family growing up as, poverty, and they had a desperate desire to become rich. Okay, they're in poverty, but they have a desperate desire to become rich. Right? So those ingredients, I've seen that before, and I've been there before too, where it's like you're just trying to get out. Right? And sometimes, you do get out and it follows you for a little bit. You still have similar mindsets. You still have, similar behaviors. And I've seen people that are even wealthy or rich and they still have the desperateness to make money. Right? And so what I can tell you is, based on what Mark Twain is showing here, at the point of the book I'm in, he finally did make money. Okay. He became a successful author. He became a successful publisher. And so what he did is he then used that to increase his social standing. Okay. And there's good and bad with that. He increased his social standing from, okay, great. I have a bigger house. I can invite people over. I can entertain. And he can use that to leverage his business. He can become, an author for more books. He can do some collaborations. He can do some partnerships. He might be able to do publishing for others. Okay. That's smart. Okay. But he was doing it more for just like, being known as this wealthy person in his community. He was in Connecticut, super bougie, super, high net worth, high income, even back then. Right. And so he's in there trying to impress people, and he's just doing it because he wants to fit in. Like he's finally in the crowd of rich people. He's finally where he said he wanted to be. Now, the problem is he got money and he violated the triangle of wealth. He violated the triangle of wealth. I'm going to whiteboard this out for those of you that don't know the triangle of wealth. Next, I don't want to interrupt you too long. I just want to give you a free offer for my book, The Blueprint to Financial Freedom. If you go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, you can get the book now. I'm going to let you get back to the video, right? But violating the triangle of wealth looks like this, and it's very simple. I've been teaching the triangle of wealth for a long time. Triangle of wealth looks like this. We have earn, we have save, and we have invest. And this is a revolving triangle. You earn, then you save, then you invest, and you invest in things that help you earn more. And if you keep doing this, it becomes a revolving wheel. It's like a wheel triangle, if you will. It becomes a wheel triangle of earn, save, invest. The investments increase the earn. Now I can save more. Now I can invest more. Now I earn more. Now I can save more. Now I can invest more. So he earned, okay? He saved. And then what he attempted to do is what I see most North Americans attempting to do. Canadians, you guys do it too. Americans, you guys are the worst at it, okay? He invested in a way to try and eliminate his necessity to earn. Not to supplement it, to eliminate it. Like he has this pot of money now because he successfully published some books and he's got some means. And he's like, good, I'm going to take this money and now I'm going to start speculating on different businesses and inventions and this and that. And he did it from a standpoint of, I've got this pool of resources, right? And those resources, he was so reliant on them that he wasn't earning more income. He stopped doing the thing that got him to earn the income in the first place. Okay, here's why retirement is such a broken system. You will never hear me tell someone to retire. Never. Okay, earn, save, invest. So then you earn, save, invest. So why? So that one day you can quit earning. Good, you've just killed your economy. You would not apply this to anything else in your life. If it's like, I'm going to get married and I'm going to do all this work with my marriage and I'm going to treat my spouse right and I'm going to love them and this and that so that one day I can divorce them and stop and break the cycle. No, you'd be like, that makes no sense. Why would I do all this work just to quit? Right? Same thing with health. I'm going to eat right. I'm going to diet. I'm going to work out. I'm going to be fit. I'm going to take care of myself so that one day I can just completely throw it all to the wayside and throw my health out the window and just quit. Okay. This is what Mark Twain did. He was a successful author. Okay. Instead of embracing that and saying work is part of life, exerting effort is part of life. Okay. He said, no. I want to just play. I want to be rich. I want to have zero purpose. I want to be involved in things. I want to just take my money and have it do all this for me so that I can live a life of ease and luxury. That's really what he was looking for. In the book, when you read this, the entire point leading up to this, the number one factor I see with Mark Twain is the avoidance of work. The avoidance of work. He went into the mining business. As soon as he found out you actually have to dig, he quit. Right? He started working in the mining camps and he demanded a $400,000 a week salary just basically to be a roustabout. They threw him out of the camp. Okay. He was collecting people's empty champagne bottles, like they'd already drunk them. Then he pulled them out of their trash and littered them around his own cabin to make it appear like he was this wealthy, luxurious guy who was just kicking back, drinking champagne all the time. Instead of just working, it's this false impression. I'm trying to appear wealthy. And while I'm trying to appear wealthy, I'm avoiding work. Here's the number one thing I can tell you about wealthy people. Two things. Number one, they have a very high ethics level. The truly wealthy ones. I'm not talking about just financial means. I'm talking about the philanthro wealth. Those who actually have abundance and prosperity in all areas of their life and they're restoring life essentials and they're helping promote human welfare. Those people have a strong sense of ethics. Their own personal compass of what's right and wrong, right? They stick with it. And they don't violate that. The second thing is they work an incredible amount and they're not afraid to and they're willing to do it. The wealthiest people I know, they're not kicked back with passive income. Okay, this passive income thing is a myth. I want you to think about, when did you first hear about it? Okay, what was it? Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Okay, that guy's dishonest. I hate to break it to you, there's no rich dad or poor dad. Right? Like that model is not something that I would be like, I want to be that. And the thing is, he's not even doing the thing the book was written about. He has several active businesses. So this idea of just like passive income and a life of luxury and ease, it's never been a thing. Carnegie didn't do it. Rockefeller didn't do it. Morgan didn't do it. The Vanderbilts didn't do it. Those who receive financial exchange in without having done anything for it typically are criminal. And I'm not telling you investing is criminal. I'm not telling you Mark Twain is criminal, but I can tell you in the chapter that I just finished, he got involved with a criminal. He was defrauded. I've been defrauded before by someone I trusted. He was defrauded by someone he trusted. And I could see some commonality there, right? When I was defrauded by someone I trusted, I was getting a large amount of money in returns from investments with very little I was doing. I wasn't involved. I didn't know what was happening. I wasn't the expert. I wasn't working. I wasn't expending any energy other than just saying, here's this money. Please go make more of it for me without me doing anything. Right? I don't do that anymore. Like I learned my lesson and Twain did too. He lost money in this chapter because of that exact thing. Okay. So here's what you've got to do. You've got to keep the triangle of wealth in. We earn. Okay. And I want you to think of earn as a verb. Earn as a verb. When you earn money, what does that entail? You worked for it. You worked for it. This idea that you want to get to a point where at some time you don't earn money anymore because active income is bad. Okay, it's bullshit. Complete bullshit. The only two people that are trying to escape from earning and active are criminals and those who are not aligning their money with their purpose. Okay, put your hand up if you're a criminal. Okay, I didn't think so. You can put your hands down if it was up. If your hand was up, please quit watching my channel. I don't like criminals. Okay, but if you didn't put your hand up and you've been in this like, oh man, I'm working this job. I don't really like it. I'm trying to get out. I want to build passive income, or I built this business. Now I'm trapped and I can't get out of it. Let's take a minute and let's look. Are you doing stuff that's aligned with your purpose? Are you really fulfilled with what you're doing? Because you can't fill that void with money. You can't fill that void with passive income. So what I encourage you to do is align your work with your purpose. See, my work is aligned with my purpose. So I'm not focused on passive income so I can get out of the rat race. Just get out of the rat race. You don't need to be in the rat race. The rat race is trading your time for something that doesn't fulfill your purpose, doesn't accomplish your goals, doesn't contribute to your vision for your life. That's the rat race. And passive income has nothing to do with that. Investing in wealth has nothing to do with that. You could quit your job today and start the business you've been dreaming of. You could quit your job today and go work for a company that you believe in their purpose. Okay, but I'll tell you what happens and why people don't do that. The money is good enough that you betray your purpose. You're getting paid just enough at your job where you're like, I'm okay with the fact that I'm not following my purpose. And then you think you're going to make it back up to yourself by, if I get enough income from my investments and this and that, I can finally do the things I love. Just do the things you love. Just do them now. You don't need to like insert all of this stuff first so that you can, and finally then you can get the thing. Just go get the thing. Hey, what's up? Jerry here. I just wanted to give you another reminder. Grab my book, Blueprint to Financial Freedom. It's going to be one of the best books you have ever read on finance. I can promise you that. You're going to love it. It's also a free offer. So if you go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, you can get that now. It's so stupid. So here's what I want to challenge you and encourage you to do. Number one, if you're doing something where the work doesn't fulfill your purpose and it doesn't align with your purpose, go do work that does. You can get paid for it. You just need to be brave and you need to be out there meeting people and get involved in that community of whoever that is, wherever that is, and get started. Okay. Or let's do this. You've got a good job. You've got a good business. You've got a good career. You've got good stability. The income comes in. You can keep that going and you can allocate a portion of that income to the things that do fulfill your purposes. Right? So you can do charitable giving. You can invest in things that are aligned with that. So that way you're like, okay, great. Maybe I don't love working at a car dealership, for example. That's not my purpose. I didn't, say I want to grow up and sell cars, but maybe I make $250,000 a year doing that. And it would be dumb to leave that. So I'm going to keep doing that because I'm good at it. I'm going to take the income and I'm going to put that into a donor advised fund that invests in impact companies and then donate the gains of that to charities I care about. Now this job directly funds the things I love. See what I mean? Right? Or as the money comes in, instead of blowing it on the mortgage for the house I can't afford or having a bunch of car payments, I learned to become my own banker and I take back control of my financial life and I allocate money to things like traveling and fun and all this stuff that I want to do so that I can keep doing both of them. Right? Because at the end of the book, I already know what Mark Twain says. I haven't finished the book yet, but I've done enough study on him already to know what his final thesis was. Right? And it comes down to doing the usual. He was a prolific author. So he wrote more books. We already know he wrote more books and he succeeded with those books. He died still a millionaire. Right? His family, the ironic thing is the entire time this book is happening, in the background, his family owns land. They own acres and acres and acres of land, right? And because it's not exciting and nothing's happening with it and there's nothing to do with it, it's just sitting there. It's like buying gold, right? It's just sitting there. He writes that off as like, oh, that's probably never going to amount to anything. He writes it off. That ends up being worth money. If he would have just sat and did the usual and continued writing books and let his investments grow and stayed out of the speculating and the trying to invent the new thing and this and that and just did the usual, he would have been totally fine. right? Now, I love that he did what he did because we can learn from it. We can learn from it from two aspects, what not to do. And also the man had a sense of adventure. And I think that we're missing that in our lives today. We have so much safety and security and worry and, oh, what about this? Or what about that? And how about if this goes wrong? That we forget, like, life is more than that. You can travel, you can do stuff that's crazy, and you can enjoy life and have the wind flow through your hair and still have a job and still have an income and still run the business and still invest. Right? But I thought it was ironic that when I looked at this, I was like, Mark Twain violated the triangle of wealth. Okay, now the triangle of wealth, there's one thing that I want to add, and we might need to change this up to the square of wealth. Okay, we're officially going into that category. Okay, so this is something that I think probably would have solved things for Twain. So we have earn. Okay, so we take our earn, then we go into save, and then we go into invest. And then we go into give. And I think that if we keep this, and we maybe need to change this to the square of wealth or the box of wealth, but you earn, you save, you invest, you give, and the investments are funding both the giving, right, and the earning. Okay. And the giving is something that is, aligned with your purpose. I don't think Mark Twain had a purpose outside of just himself being wealthy. Right? And maybe we can keep this as the triangle of wealth because it still does form a triangle. We earn, save, invest. And then we've got this little off to the side here, right? That's still a triangle right there. The give doesn't necessarily connect back to the earn. But here's the thing is that that's the end goal. That's the end goal. And this is just a conversation of allocating, right? How much of this goes back into your savings? How much of this goes into your giving, right? But I think if Twain was focused on donating and generosity, the way that Carnegie was, we're not into the gospel of wealth yet. We'll hit that soon as I get into more books with you guys. But, at Carnegie, he actually became America's first billionaire. He was not afraid of hard work. He was generous. He grew up in poverty, but he wasn't desperate. Right? So he had the goal of, I want to be wealthy, but it wasn't desperate. He wasn't like, I'll do anything. See, that's the difference is the I'll do anything. I'll do anything means like, doesn't mean it's a smart thing or a good idea. You're just going to do it. Okay, so on this Finance Friday, I want to challenge you two things. I want you to focus on your triangle of wealth. If you're not making the financial progress that you want to make, it means that you're not earning enough, you're not saving enough, and you're not investing enough. And if you focus on increasing those three things, you will make more progress. Number 2, generosity needs to be in here. Why would you build wealth? It needs to be more than so I can quit trading time for money. Okay, none of the greats ever had that as their reason. Okay, that's like a Mark Twain reason. Like, oh, I want to build wealth so I can quit working, so I can quit adding value to society, so I can quit being productive, so I can just, laze around in my mansion. So I can travel the world and just have all these experiences for myself. That's a very selfish way to go about it. So I want you to take this mindset. If we all don't make it, none of us do. We live on this spinning rock together. Okay. What happens if the water is not drinkable anymore? It's not going to matter how much money you have in your investments if that occurs. What happens if the environment gets so polluted that we can't be outside in it and have healthy breathing conditions? It's not going to matter how much money is in your retirement account. What's going to happen if food continues killing us? Because right now it does. It's not going to matter how much money you have invested. Okay, so it's time we started putting first things first. And these are things that you can invest in as philanthro investments. They're investments that bring capital back to you, but they also restore life essentials and they also promote human welfare. You can do this as a philanthro donor as well. You can donate money to the Philanthro Wealth Donor Advised Fund, and you can fund companies that do this or nonprofits that do this so that you're contributing to the solution. And I think when you do that, your purpose becomes bigger. And I think when your purpose becomes bigger, you excel faster. Okay, so that's all I got for you today. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Get the book if you didn't. Follow along with me on the How Not to Get Rich with Mark Twain. and I'll see you guys next time. Hey, this is Jerry Fetta here. I want to thank you for watching my video, watching my content. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to learn more about the blueprint to financial freedom and how you can achieve passive income that exceeds your savings, your expenses, your taxes, your generosity, and build wealth like the top 1%, I want to encourage you, grab a copy of my book, The Blueprint to Financial Freedom. You can go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, or you can click the link in the description of the video here. The copy is free. You cover your shipping. We'll send the book out to you, and we'll send you an email with a bunch of great bonus material also for free. Get the book, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on my next content.